Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host, Dystro, and tonight's episode is a very special one. This one is a band that we haven't really covered on this channel a lot, or ever. It is Linkin Park, and tonight's episode is a breakdown of one of their most influential albums to date. Is Minutes to Midnight. And there is a lot to come from this album. Most of the songs, three in particular, are highly regarded as like the best songs on this album. And one of them is in the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen movie. Or no, in the first Transformers movie, I'm sorry. In the first one. And I mean, when you think about Linkin Park, you can't not think of Chester Bennington, who has sadly passed away a few years ago, and it's like he left us with an impact on this earth. So kind of like a memoriam of like I guess of his passing. A few years ago, it would be not uh, in vain of me to not really dive into Linkin Park. With this album in particular, it is from May 14th, 2007. So it is 18 years old. And 2 years from now will be the 20th anniversary of Minutes to Midnight. So let's just dive right on in, huh? Oh, and before I forget, the songs that are up for grabs is 12 songs. We're just gonna go through them in order. It is Wake, Giving Up, Leave Out All the Rest, Bleed It Out. Shadow of the Day, What I've Done, Hands Held High, No More Sorrow, Valentine's Day, In Between, In Pieces, and The Little Things You Give Away. All of these songs are going to be rated on a rating between 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. And then we will tally up all the scores and then divide it by however many songs we do, and that's our overall score. And with the breakdown, how it works is like we go through like different meanings and all that stuff if we could find any. Luckily, through songmeanings.com, I have found a lot of meanings for a lot of these songs, so let's just give them some props here, alright? So, the first song, it is called Wake. It is a instrumental song, so I'm not going to really kind of um, highly grade it because it is an instrumental. I did give it a 6 out of 10. I don't really care for instrumentals very much. But it does go into Giving Up, which is the second song of this album. And this song, right off the bat, kind of just gives me, um, like, what is it? It's kind of like a big, huge, like, GD song, goddamn song. Uh, and it's like, with some people, it's kind of like, you gotta take it at base value, And plus, like this one person said, like if you've been in enough pain and you're sick of it, and you'd rather be numb than feel this way, and no one gives a shit about what you're feeling. You're pissed off at yourself for letting yourself get this far, your own worst enemy. You've given up on feeling hurting, and no one will help you get rid of it. And it's kind of like channeling your inner demons, kind of like just trying to get that out of you. Put me out of my misery. And then it goes back into the chorus. I give this a 10 out of 10. It is like one of the best songs on this album. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Um, it is like it's like influential in its own way, I guess. Um, when I think of this song, it reminds me of the movie Crank with Jason Statham in it. And I don't know why it just thinks about that for me, but it does. Um, Before I go on a huge ramble here, I'm just gonna go on to the next song, which is leave out all the rest. This I had to kind of listen to again, um, which it's like that's the way things work, And it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna like, sugarcoat it. Like I said, some of these songs I had to listen to a few times, to kind of like get the gist of it a little bit again. It had been a bit since I had listened to this album again, so I guess it was a good thing to re-listen to it again and just get feelings for it. With this song being the third song on this album, honestly, the meaning is straightforward, but in a good way. This is such a good song. A lot of you think you kind of got the wrong message. Some of it could be because you're trying to dig too deep into the meaning, and all you got to do is really look, and he gives it away easily but strong. This person's opinion is like, this is the best song on the album, but I love every song on the album a whole lot. It's kind of like talking about dreaming about when he was dead and not part of the earth anymore. And then he woke up after his dream and he thought about what will stay here, the people, the memories, and how they'll feel when he's gone in the afterlife. Which that's kind of true. It's like nowadays, like when you think of Chester, you also think of Linkin Park. But then it's like it doesn't feel the same without Chester being in Linkin Park, and so on and so forth. I give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's not like the worst song in the world, but I probably just have to listen to it a few more times to get the gist of it. So we're on to track number 4, which is Bleed It Out, another banger song on this album. It's pretty much like what this person had said. Um, the song is about the writing process within Linkin Park and how Mike Shinoda had to go back to these hurtful times in his life again to get inspiration for the lyrics, dig it deeper, bleed it out, only to bring it back to the band and find out that they think it wasn't just good enough yet, just to throw it away. So he had to go back and start all over again and go even deeper in to get something better out and make the people and things that inspired it more general so that everyone can relate to the song, Make You Faceless. He knows going back to these hard times is the only way to get quality lyrics. Can't contain them. He knows how it works. Don't know. There's 15 different references in there. I don't feel like explaining them all. That when you look at the song from that perspective, you see what it's really about. True. That is very, very true. I did give this song a 10 out of 10. It's like another banger song on this album. Alright, on to song number 5, Shadow of the Day. I had to listen to this one again a little bit. I mean, that's to be expected on this channel. When you have to do a breakdown episode and you're trying to like listen to all these different songs again, you gotta have to do that sometimes. So somebody had said, I think this song can be interpreted differently for different people, but to make the thought as generic as possible, we all have seasons of our lives. Cards and flowers in a dark context are used to or for only two things: moving and death. Life for sure isn't easy or simple. So whatever it means, moving on in life or moving on through death, it's important for us to know that this is life, and if it hasn't happened to you already, it will. Which that is true. Life will take you where it wants you to take you, and or where it wants to take you, and you gotta be kind of, I guess, ready for that next stage in life or death when it comes. Um, I did give this song a 8.5 out of 10. Only because like it kind of like brings it down a little bit because like after Bleed It Out, it kind of like just drains like a lot out of me. I don't know why, but it just drained a lot out of me. But on to the next song. All right, on to song number 6. It is the most influential song of our generation and of any generation, I think. It is called "What I've Done." This song was featured on the Transformers movie, the first one with Michael Bay. Um, and it's like it's become a meme. It's become like a lot of people's soundtrack for a lot of things. Um, but it's it's got such a different meaning to it. Kind of like talking about politics, environment, God, sin, repentance, redemption. Um, And it's kind of like, like what I've done to all this. Um, it's like with a lot of different people, it kind of means different things. Um, like this person had said, um, to them it meant a little something different. I troubled the handling the stress of being a whistleblower, trying for my PhD and all of these things. I was drinking excessively and at times completely out of control. She put up with it until the day she discovered I had cheated on her and we broke up. Wow, that's crazy. After months had passed, I recently sent this song to my ex-girlfriend before even watching the music video, and I've been trying to win her back ever since. For me, it meant that everything we think we know about therapy is incorrect. Think of AA or NA. Hi, my name is X, and I'm an alcoholic. I believe that very line is the reason programs like AA only have a 3% success rate. Every time you say "I am anything," your brain strengthens to those neural connections. Effectively, you've become what you believe. Your entire life is based on beliefs. The beliefs that if you sit in a chair, you won't fall through it, or if you hit a wall, it will stop you. However, these are nothing innate about these properties. Humans, Homo sapiens, have an incredibly developed prefrontal cortex, and I believe that by focusing the energy on of this, you can rewire your brain, your neural connections almost instantly. I practice meditation for hours, take omega 3, 6, and 8, etc., then go to sleep. The next day, I wake up feeling different. But this is also what had Charlie Sheen said in an interview. I had a problem, but I don't anymore. I rewired my brain in a nanosecond, and it was gone. Of course, nobody believed him, and he thought he was crazy. But I believe that in this moment in my life, when I realized that he wasn't crazy, he was right. We all have the power to rewire our brains if we only try. Instead of saying "I am" or "I have" this to anything negative, you should replace this with "I don't have a problem with X" or "I'm not X." Also use past tense when referring to a problem. I had a problem with X, etc. But then back to the song. He said, I believe I believe the Linkin Park discovered the same thing. Listen to these lyrics. I face myself to cross out what I've become, erase myself, and let go of what I've done. Put to rest what you thought of me while I clean this slate with hands of certainty. And then, anyways, maybe this will add something to the way you perceive the world. This person is actually speaking a lot of truth. I know this is a long spiel, but kind of was saying like, erase myself, cross out what I've done, because it's that simple. Put to rest what you thought of me. It means like he's changed, put to rest what you thought of him. He's cleaning his slate, but he's lost. Likely experiencing lost dreams, as I do all the time. I gave this, a 10 out of 10. Obviously, it's like one of the best songs on there too. So 3 songs are a 10 out of 10 so far. That's a good sign, I guess. All right, on to track number 7, which is "Hands Held High." This one I had to kind of do it again too. Kind of like a re-listen to it. I haven't heard this song in a while, so it was one of those things where I was just like, okay, yeah, re-listen to it again, So when this person was saying, in their viewpoint, they thought it was pretty clear that the little book with a red cover on it was a Quran, not a Bible. The entire verse describes war from a viewpoint of a Muslim kid probably in Iraq or Afghanistan. This further backs up the line saying, "At times like this you pray, but a bomb blew up the mosque up yesterday." First part of the song from the American viewpoint and the things that they were angered by and how they think the world is laughing at their leader, and then the second part from the viewpoint of the outside world, watching the leader stuttering and lying and feeling scared and angry, not laughing. But then this other person put, "It is neither a Bible or a Quran. It's either the quotations from Chairman Mao for the Communist Manifest by Karl Marx. Both are more likely to fit, or more both are more likely and fit to the meaning of the song. Both are, but they're also both little red books. They are painted red in the Chinese. And the Chinese one has the common name Little Red Book. Yeah, just a little history lesson there. I gave this song a 9 out of 10. It's kind of like a. I'm not gonna try to say it's a war song or anything. I guess it's just one of those songs where it's like you can take this in like grain of salt and kind of like view, I guess, whatever viewpoint you want to look it through, because like war happens all around us all the time, and where we're fighting or we're defending against something, it's like there's always different viewpoints from different angles of every situation. So kind of like look at it through rose-tinted glasses, sort of thing. But yeah, let's go on to track number 8. So track number 8 is No More Sorrow. I guess you could probably put this hand in hand with Hands Held High, because it says like, are you lost in your lies? Do you tell yourself I don't reckon or I don't realize? Um, Thieves and hypocrites. um, Somebody said probably it has nothing to do with Bush. Quite the opposite. Maybe this is about the future of the Obama administration. No, it's not. Um, it's like kind of talking about maybe like president stuff. Um, I don't know like what about this like is. Probably about hypocrisy or whatever. I gave this song a 10 out of 10. I did like it the first time around. I liked it the second time around. Which, I mean, that's a good sign. That's four. That's four 10 out of 10s. Let's go. So, we're going to go on to number 9, which is Valentine's Day. That's very synonymous with a lot of us here. Valentine's Day is a very good day for a lot of people, for a lot of couple people. But I guess it's like, if you want to put it in a retrospect, um, I don't really know what to say about this song as a whole. Because it's like one of those things where it's like when you think about Valentine's Day, it's something about like, like something about it. It's just like it kind of like either triggers people, kind of like thinks bad memories about people. But from what this person had said, it's obvious about losing someone dear, a lover. Initially, or literally, taken, it seems that someone has died and he's standing at the funeral. The room below grew colder as they put you down inside. So I guess it could be taken literally or metaphorically as well. Brilliant nonetheless. I love how it builds up to the chorus. It really amazes me. The piano part and the chorus are my favorite parts. I do tend to agree with that as well. I gave this song a 8 out of 10. It is not, it's not the best song in the world either. But it's one of those songs that's like you could probably play it on Valentine's Day if you wanted to. Hopefully nobody's gonna stop you trying to do that. On to track number 10 is called In Between. I'm gonna give you the score right away. I give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's not like I said, it's not the best song in the world, but it's one of those songs that's like, okay, I gotta re-listen to it again. But it sounds like from the lyrics and all that stuff, it sounds like he got cheated, got back together with his girl, but now he can't really find the words to tell her that her regaining her trust is just too hard, and he will only hurt her by being with her. I think when he says she understands, all she understands is guilt, he means that all she knows is his apologizing for things he's done. You probably could tie that if you wanted to. You could probably tie that into what I've done, maybe. If you want to be lyrical like that and be very metaphorical like that. Again, it's like one of those songs. Like I said, I gotta re-listen to it, and hopefully I will get to re-listen to it in my own time. Going on to number 11, In Pieces. Another song that's kind of like you could tie it into In Between as well, because it's like he cheated on her, but like got back together with her, and it's kind of like this one's saying like telling me to go, but hands beg me to stay, sort of thing. It's kind of like saying like having doubt in faith, having your doubt in love and all that stuff. Um, so this person says, I think he's talking about a relationship that has gone bad. So you could probably relate that to In Between if you wanted to. And he wants his ex to know that it's not over because of him, but because of her and what she's done. So I won't be the one to leave this in pieces. He's saying that she's at fault for the relationship failing, and that he wasn't one who let things fall apart. It is an incredible song. I will give you that. And you can feel what he feels just by the emotion in his voice alone. Talking about Chester. And plus, like Chester, he's a sad little boy. He's a sad boy. When he writes lyrics and all that stuff. In Mike too, and Mike. And it's like you can just tell. You could just tell like when they're in the studio and they're like just writing lyrics and all that stuff, and like they're just putting pen to paper, and it's like you could just tell that something is always cooking in their mind, because like if it's something about like a dog passing away, or if a family member passed away, they always put that anger or that sadness to paper, and it could just be like the best song in the world, but there's always a deeper meaning behind it, and that's what I love so much about music. Because like with I Prevail, or Falling in Reverse, or uh, Creed, or whatever, or in Linkin Park as well, you can just tell like they have like I guess they have a good time writing the song and playing the music, but there's always such a deeper meaning in the back of their mind when they write it to paper. Um, and it's always like goes to show that like music is always it's a creative outlet for people that want to get their voice heard. And I think that's such a good way to like take it. Like with podcasting and stuff as well. It's a voice for the voiceless sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go on any more of a tangent there. Um, so we are on to the last song, "The Little Things You Give Away." So this song is about a bigger catastrophic disaster that happened many years ago. Um, this song is about Hurricane Katrina. And it kind of makes more sense than when some people thought of this song, all things considered. But this person always always imagined something different, a bit more sinister or creepy. Um, when they did hear the song, I imagine the singer is either a very close friend or a lover to a extremely controlling person. The lover/friend tries to reach out time and time again to this person, but either gets slapped or screamed at. This person does not want to be close to anyone because they don't want to lose control or start feeling helpless, but the friend/lover can't stand to see them so sad. The friend/lover comes over to the controlling person's home. The controlling one leaves the bathtub running and goes to enter the door. They go inside. This controlling person overreacts, and to some kind of gesture the friend/lover has done. The controlling one in the panic drowns the friend/lover in the bathtub, and then they run away, and the story becomes national news. But the murderer is never found, and the story is forgotten after a week. As for the lyrics of the song itself, the murder victim knows that the murderer was sick and doesn't regret trying to reach out to them. And this person was saying like this little story ran through their mind listening to the song, and still does. Perhaps I'm a bit morbid. That's what I always like about music. as well. Kind of like taking your own interpretation to it, and kind of like being like, okay, well, it could be this thing, but it could be this thing as well. But that's like I said, that's what I love about music. We can always take our own interpretation for certain things and kind of like put a little spin on it. Um, but yeah, I did give this song a 9 out of 10. It is a good closer. I will say that. I think if they just didn't do the instrumental in the beginning, I think it would have been way better. Because like just starts off with giving up right off the bat and just goes like to the little ones, the little things give you away. Um, yeah. I'm just gonna tally up all the scores and I'll get back to you. So I tallied up all the scores, and I did get I got an overall score. It is a 87.9. It's not the worst score of the whole thing of the whole breakdown series. But it is the. It's not. It's like I'm not gonna try to give it a bad rap or anything. It is like a very very good album, but just based off of um giving up what I've done and bleed it out alone. I would give this an album. I would give this album another chance in the future. Um, but yeah, this album came out in 2007 and still holds up 18 years later. And that is it. Thank you very, very much for listening and or watching. If you made it to the very end of this video, please make sure to follow us on all the social media links in the description below, which will take you to our Linktree page, which will take you to our Instagram pages, Twitter pages. I gave YouTube channels on there. The Reckless Paradise Reddit is on there. And for Marissa's request, the song of the night is Jump by Loverboy. Don't confuse Jump for the Van Halen song. There is a Loverboy song called Jump. And that is it. And I will see you guys this Sunday for another Shoot the Shit episode. But until then, stay safe, love it, bye, peace.